So due to the recent garden update, farming has become pretty insane for money. Every crop was super inflated upon release and people made a ton of coins. But as the prices of crops stabilized, I tried to find a crop that can still make a huge amount of that money per hour and do it on a budget, because most guys tell you to get fermento armor and tier 3 hoes. And let's be honest, no one has the cash to get a 100 mil armor set and a hoe that literally costs as much as a Chimera book, dude. So that's why in today's video I'll be teaching you how to farm with a budget friendly setup so everyone can do this method, even if you're as broke as me. So firstly, let's start off and discuss what crop we are going to be farming. For this method, I found that cactus is pretty good since it's in pretty high demand most of the time and it's rather simple to set up. In order to have an infinite farm, you will need at least 5 plots with the cactus on it, and preferably have them in lines like this so you can run down multiple plots without having to turn around. I know it sounds really insignificant, but trust me, it helps a lot with keeping up with your rates, by only having to turn around every minute or so, instead of like every 20 seconds. Next thing you will need to do is want to set up teleport pads to each farm so you can, well, obviously teleport to them much easier. But other than that, that's really it for the farm itself, and it just shows how easy this method is to set up. So with that out the way, let's go on to what gear we'll be needing to start making some profit from this method. Now the armor might seem kinda obvious, but we're going to be going with a sort of unconventional approach for the max farming fortune. And that's going to be using 2/4 melon armor along with a lantern helmet and farmer boots. I will talk more on this weird armor choice later though, but for now this armor costs around 3 million coins, which is very nice and very budget friendly. Alongside this, you'll need a cactus knife, preferably with harvesting 6, and for the pet I would highly recommend a legendary mushroom cow at around level 70 or so plus. Also, if you have enough copper, you should buy yourself the full Lotus equipment set, as it's a really easy way to get a ton of farming fortune. In total, all of this comes to around 20 million coins, which I will say is actually kind of incredible for a money making method that literally takes no effort at all. So about this quirky armor setup then, and why we aren't using the full melon armor set. Well, to put it simply, full melon armor kinda sucks. If you have at least farming 25, the farmer boots and the lantern helmet will outperform the melon armor. And if you don't have the requirement of farming 25 for the melon armor in the first place, then don't worry, because it really does not take a long time to get a ton of farming levels in the garden. I mean, in my first 2 days of playing the update, I got like a few million farming XP, which for early gameplays will be a ton of levels. Now it's all good knowing what setup and gear and stuff you'll be needing to do all this, but how do you actually farm the cactus? I know it sounds really self-explanatory, but it's actually kinda complicated, and it's where most players start to go wrong. Since we are using the lantern helmet, we have to perform a little bit of a glitch to gain the extra farming fortune. Basically what you do is hold any type of axe and then swap the cactus knife into the same slot as the axe from your inventory. Now the most important part about this is do not swap to a different item after you do this, or you will lose the bonus farming fortune from the helmet. This happens because the game still thinks you're holding an axe, so it gives you the extra farming fortune or something like that. I mean, I'm not a coder or anything, so I don't know how it precisely works, but I do think that's how in general it kinda works. Then if you have the NEU mod or use the F3 menu, you should adjust your yaw axis to be at ideally 90 degrees to not run into any of the cacti. Then after that, well done, you've officially learnt how to successfully cactus farm on a budget. Now you just press A to move to one side, then W and D to move to the next row, and it's as simple as that. And with that out the way, I think we are all here to know one thing, and that is how many coins does this actually earn per hour. Now for me, after trying this for a while, I was earning an average of 7.5 million coins per hour, which is honestly really decent for a method that is completely mindless. And there is so much potential for this method. For example, if you farm during a Jacobs contest, you will easily be able to get a bronze or a silver, which gives you a ton of extra coins in turbo cacti books and Jacobs tickets. If you want to have even more farming fortune, then you can try to get more visitors for the Lotus set, or try to get more strength through reforges and power stones for the mushroom cow. There is a lot of good potential for this money maker, and if you try to put some effort into it, it will honestly be really good. It's honestly kinda making me start like farming again, and that is very surprising. And who knows, maybe if you're extremely lucky, you can drop a wild strawberry dye from farming cacti. Although it is very rare, so let me know down in the comments if you ever actually get one, cause that would be pretty insane. If you found this video enjoyable or helpful in any way, I would greatly appreciate if you subbed. It's really simple to do and we're on the grind to YouTube rank now, which is also insane in itself. But regardless, I'm gonna go farm some cactus now, and I hope you all enjoyed your day out there and have a wonderful rest of your evening. See ya.